swatter? Oh, you're not bringing the fly swatter out. Don't embarrass me.
I'm behind the
Jimmy saw the rat today. Okay, I'll have the link here shortly.
I hit the 30 seconds.
What's up? Jimmy saw that. I just heard it.
Okay, so do you have a link to that?
No, this is his live.
Oh, okay, on Facebook.
I don't know if y'all can see it, but it should be live. What's up, guys? How are things?
Hi.
Feeling good.
How you doing?
Is that, what is it, Paul Mason?
On the song with some sweet tea.
All right, just let me just inbox me the link, I suppose, and I'll go ahead and send it to my team and everybody.
How's everyone feeling out there watching this exclusive of Ugly Truths of Rory and Banter? I'm trying to send the link, but it's being dumb. Anyway, how y'all doing while I'm getting this link sent to y'all? How's everyone?
I'm
Good,
doing
good.
great. Excited.
And there you go. I sent you
Your mask.
link. My mask hiding behind me.
Okay, so that's the YouTube one, right?
Yeah, and then the other one is I mean it's on my page right now.
Okay.
I just shared it. So
Okay.
it should just be popping up. So thank you for joining us, guys. Today we have Razakel. And I guess I don't want to butcher an intro for you, so I'd rather you just give a short little synopsis of, what you've been doing, and how you're been in the underground and all that. So just give yourself like a short little intro for anyone who doesn't know who you are.
Okay, my name is Razakel. I have been doing music, rapping and singing and whatever it is you want to call it, since like 2006. Been writing and singing all my life, but I didn't like really start getting into it until like 2006 professionally. And yeah, I've been doing this for a minute. I just started a new team label about 2 years ago called Shrunken Head Entertainment. Even though I tried to keep that for a secret for a very long time that I owned it. Everyone kind of, they figured it out. But yes, I own it, run it with Jimmy and Elmer. And yeah, we consist of there's like 10 of us. And yeah, like I'm still learning. I don't know it all. I definitely don't know it all. It's a learning process. Yeah,
that's what
I
everyone.
definitely think that I've earned my stripes a little bit, but every day still a learning process. So yeah, that's pretty much I could say. It's really not that fancy. I'm not that fancy.
Nah, you're super fancy. So yeah, we have you on today, and so I really just kind of want you to be part of what me and Rob do, and then we're probably just gonna ask you a few questions after we get done with the stuff that we're talking about. Today, I kind of sent you a little bit of a heads up about what we're talking about, and so recently, there's an artist named The Joker, and he a few years ago, I don't know how long ago, to be honest, probably like 6 or 7 years ago, to be honest. He dropped a video, and at some point in the video, he kind of like dissed Juggalo rappers, and people got, I don't want to say people got upset about it, more just like, it's just something that people do happen. Well, then recently he also dropped a video or a song that's called the Juggalo song.
Backpedaling.
Yeah, and people got mad about it because what you dish Juggalos, and now you're saying you're making song for Juggalos. Like, what's up with that? And I guess the question is like, I guess okay, And for anyone who doesn't know, so I'm gonna show a little clip of the part that they said that he was dissing Juggalo, just so everyone that's watching kind of gets an idea. So we're gonna throw that on. Um, I don't think they should take down our live stream for this, so we're gonna hope not.
That would be hilarious.
And for anybody watching, if you can hear, the Joker is imitating himself as a Juggalo rap artist, and on the very far right corner, he's saying, you know, why are we dissing him? You know, like we.
So oh god, it went back to this way. Let's go back this way. So yeah, that was so honestly, I guess y'all couldn't hear the audio, huh? Because that's what you were just saying, Rob. Um,
Yep.
that sucks. I thought the audio was supposed to play. I'm still
I think
learning
we
this
get it.
stuff, guys.
We get
I'm
it.
trying to be fancy. So yeah, he pretty much is just tries to pretend like he's a Juggalo rapper and pretty much disses like Juggalo rappers. I don't know. And then he makes a whole nother song saying like he's almost gonna bring back Juggaloism in a sense, if we're gonna call it like a culture. He's like talking
Juggaloism.
about Juggaloism, right? He's bringing back the Juggaloism, and so yeah. Anyway, I want y'all to comment because my rant is gonna be kind of long, so I want to hear what y'all have to say first.
I mean, if you don't mind, Rob, can I go?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, I really don't. I don't really pay attention to too much that's happening, just because I don't really like to be influenced by a lot of outside artists. You know what I'm saying? I like to kind of stay in my lane and just like keep tunnel vision. But of course, I hear what's happening. I try not to delve too much into it. I don't like to. I don't like to like, steer off the wrong way or whatever. But he's obviously a very, very, very talented individual.
Oh,
His bars are impeccable. His filming and like he has the eye, like for sure. Like he's just really he's definitely very, very talented. I remember when he did come out with like the Juggalo disc. I remember when he came out with the Hobson disc. I think there was a Tech
mm-hmm.
Nine disc probably way back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It
So
was a
yeah,
whole
I
album.
definitely I definitely remember. I think it's cool. It gets people talking. It kind of puts you in the limelight a little bit. A lot of people are too scared sometimes to kind of call out these bigger dogs. So I think it's cool. At the same time, like the rap beef isn't really my kind of thing, but it was very entertaining. It was very, very, very fucking funny. I thought it was
Yeah.
really, really funny. And then I haven't seen this new one that you guys are talking about, but I've heard about it, and like that's pretty much I get the gist of it, that he's like kind of like backpedaling in a way. What I could say about that is, people could look at it two different ways. Like one way you could look at it is, okay, he's definitely backpedaling. He's probably trying to like use use the beef to get attention on him again for whatever fucking reason. He doesn't need it, but maybe that's what he's doing. Or or maybe his opinion just fucking changed. It happens all the time. You know what I mean? Like
True.
my
Yeah.
opinion changes about shit all the fucking time. Like like your mind changes. Like you grow older, your mindset changes, and
Mhm.
I can't really judge him, but I think that's like one of two ways. Those are one of the two ways that I could see, is either he wants the attention and he's using it for clout, even though he doesn't need to at all whatsoever, or he just changed his fucking mind. He just changed his fucking mind.
Yeah. Real
I think
talk.
deep down he was a juggalo at one point, probably like everyone fucking was. So who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, because when you were mentioning about the Hobson and Tech Nine disc, he did that because I believe he was really doing things behind the scenes with Hobson, and me and Mr. Fuentes were talking about when the Joker actually drove 300 plus miles to go meet Tech Nine himself, and then
Right.
when he went to go meet him, I think he was there for like 5 minutes, and I think he paid like so much money to have like a VIP pass, and he was showing his demo, and even Tech Nine even talked about it when he was showing his demo. Tech Nine's manager's like, "All right, man, you got to go. We got to keep the line moving," and he only got like maybe a couple of minutes, and so he felt some type of way. I mean, I would
Hmm.
too, Anybody would. And he made those disses. But as far as calling out horrorcore artists, I mean, I'm gonna say horrorcore artists, Juggalo artists, and then him saying, I'm doing this as a Juggalo anthem, I'm doing it for the Juggalos. It's like, do you really get a pass for that? I mean, honestly, I mean, I know what you were saying, and I respect your opinion. People do change their mind. I'm the same way. But as far as if you said it, you said it. I mean, keep that same energy.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. Like once you say it, it's kind of out there. You can't really take it back. Even if you do take it back, it's like your nudes getting leaked on fucking the internet. Once it's out
Yep.
there, once that screen cap is taken, once it's out there, it's fucking out there. So it just it is what it is. I think like another thing about it too is that the genre changes so much and we get new fans and new clicks coming in and out all the time to where it's like a lot of these newer folks don't know about the old beef. So what they see now is him being like, all about the juggalos and shit. They just see that and they take that for face value without even looking at the shit in the past or even really giving a fuck about
True.
it.
True that.
I want to hear Saul though.
Yeah.
I see Saul over there taking notes.
I'm just like over here like, man. Um so okay, so this is how I felt. So I don't know because you couldn't hear the audio because I really was hoping people can hear the audio. He was saying stuff like, "Yo, I'm a juggalo. Yeah, you fucking know. We're going to the carnival, about to slice your head up in the house of horrors." And
Oh my
okay,
god.
to on his thing, I don't think he's to me personally. This is anyone that says that he was dissing juggalos. I don't think he was dissing juggalos. We all know that type of juggalo rapper who goes on stage, they don't have any real flow, they have nothing like really to offer, and they're just the way that I see it is like Violent J has said before, he is a spokesman for the Dark Carnival. So basically, like he puts out Juggalo stuff as like a conduit of the Dark Carnival. To me, these people are like a conduit of the conduit. So they're just biting
Okay.
off somebody else's style and their stuff. And you hear people like this all the time, and you can't help but laugh every time they go on stage and they just like, yeah, I'm fucking wicked. Yeah, I'll fucking slice your head off. Yeah, like and you're like
But the
Juggalo,
Joker
woo
wasn't.
woo.
But the Joker wasn't dissing Juggalos. He was dissing Juggalo rappers.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. He was dissing Juggalo rappers. So to me, he wasn't dissing Juggalos, although people are saying that. That's what people are
Yeah.
saying is that he was dissing Juggalos, and he wasn't dissing Juggalos. He was dissing that type of Juggalo rapper who likes
Mhm.
to say that they are, I'm down with the carnival. Yeah, whoop whoop, Fago. Like,
Please stop.
um, but yeah, like
That hurts.
that to me, that's who he's dissing. He's not dissing actual juggalos, but a lot of people got butthurt about it. They were just like, "Oh, he said the juggalo name. He
Right.
invoked the juggalo name, so now
He said
everyone
the
is
J
mad."
word.
He said he said the
Well,
J
that's
word.
actually this is
Um,
actually kind of interesting too, and this is something that we haven't talked about or even mentioned. But I kind of fell into that like that category or like stigma too back in the day because like I remember when I used to like hang out with a bunch of juggalos and like I technically was a juggalo back in the day like
mhm,
high school. um it wasn't so much of like me being like so hardcore like taking fago showers and it wasn't super hardcore, but like all of my best friends were like that, so wherever they were I was, you know what I mean? Like I was
mhm,
part of like the culture and in a lot of different ways. Like I went to the shows, I hung out with my homies. But yeah, like when I started getting like deeper into the music and shit like that, I really started noticing how there were like a lot of those juggalo type rappers that were like they're trying to be their own artist, but they're like wearing a hatchet man, or like they're flashing all
mhm,
their ink, or they're wearing all merchandise that's psychopathic. And then like when I started taking my shit a little bit more seriously, I started looking at that like that's kind of weak. You know what I mean? Like how are you supposed to be your own artist? How are people supposed to
Yeah.
like respect you if all you have to do is wear that hatchet man charm and people just automatically like you and like bring you in
yeah,
just because you're a juggalo, not because you're a great artist, you know. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
when that happened, that's when I covered up my Hatchet Man tattoo. And when that happened, the fucking internet, like, well, I mean, this was like MySpace days, you know, but it like broke the internet in a way. And you know, like I got a lot of shit for it. I got a lot of shit for it. Like a lot of people were like, you know, bullying me and just saying like, oh, like you're like denouncing the
Yeah.
fam and like all this shit. And I was like
I'm not gonna
exiled in a way, you
lie.
know,
I
like
remember
so
that.
yeah, so many people, like I got so much shit for it, like so much shit for it. It was pretty bad. And you know, like we got offered to go to perform at the gathering like a few times, and we kept saying no because once again we didn't want to fall into that category, and just because for some people that's just the easy way out. Let me play the gathering every year. Let me open up for Psychopathic every time they come over. You know, like everyone, to
Yeah.
me that's just the easy way out if you're doing it all the time, you know. And I
Mhm.
didn't want to do that. I wanted to earn my stripes my own way without repping anyone else but my, like myself and my team. So I stopped
Yeah.
that. So once I got to like, I guess like kind of a like mature level, whatever that means. Once I
It's
got to that level, and then when I had gotten invited, I went and performed. I can't remember what year it was exactly, but I went and performed. But when I went, it was mostly to just like stand my ground and make a point that I'm not gonna let like anyone bully me. And at that
Yeah.
yeah.
point, a lot of juggalos were my biggest fan base and really did want to see me. And for a lot of these juggalos, like the gathering is really the only time they do go see shows, where because there's
Yeah.
so many artists in one collective, you know. So like I did it for those points, like to see my fans that I had never met before, to give everybody a good
Mhm.
show, and to fucking stand my ground. Like, dude, like I remember it was bad, dude. Like people were like starting like rallies and petitions to throw rocks, piss, shit at me, you know,
Dude,
and then
Tila
people
like
were
they did the
throwing shit at
Tila
me. They're
tequila, that was fucked
yeah,
up.
yeah. They called me the new Tila Tequila, like people, and like
Yeah.
you know, I went out there like, okay, I got this. I was just ducking, dude. I was just ducking left and right, and like
Fuck.
luckily I had like two security guards up front that were like pretty much like pointing everyone out that were like bullying me, and then Psychopathic were sending their people in the crowd to get them the fuck away, you know. So
Wow.
I mean,
Mhm.
so it was worth it. Like it was rough. Like, you know, I was threatened to get jumped by guys and girls, you know.
What?
Like it was bullshit. So like that's kind of disheartening, because where I come from, when it came to like the juggaloism, it was very like warm and heartfelt, and like everyone was acceptive, you know. So when I went to the gathering, like it was definitely like it was a change to me anyway, you know, because I wasn't
Yeah.
in that genre for so long. But yeah, like I could see how it is for the Joker. And it's just, I don't know, it's a fine line. It's a fine line. Like I could say I love juggalos, because I do love juggalos. My boyfriend's a juggalo. A lot of my fans are juggalos. Like I don't discriminate anyone, but there are those people from back then who remember this.
The
You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
remember they remember the black box. They remember when I said, you won't fucking catch me playing at a gathering. I'm gonna do my own shit. You know, so it is like, did I backpedal? You know, like so
I
it's hard to judge. It's hard to judge because I
Yeah.
can understand his point of view.
I think for me, like pretty much what you were saying, I was kind of similar whenever I first started doing music. I was a heavy juggalo. I would wear juggalo merch. Like that's all I wore. That was all my clothes was ICP shirts, twisted shirts, blaze shirts, any concert that was near San Antonio or Houston. I'm from Corpus, and that's like a 3 to 4 hour drive from here to
Right.
there. I'd go to Austin. I'd go see Blaze. I'd go see like anyone that was like Hatchet affiliated. Like I was a hardcore juggalo in high school. And whenever I started rapping, I was super similar. I'd wear a hatchet man all the time, and I would still do all the stuff. I never really, to me, rap juggalo content. Like I didn't really like say juggalo stuff, but anytime I would like take pictures or anything, I would like heavily try to rep my hatchet into like every
Right.
picture and stuff like that. And I remember it was one of my friends who actually like told me about it, and he's like, I know that you are a juggalo because he's a juggalo too. He's like, I know that you want to like rep, the fam and all that, but you don't want to get stuck into only being a juggalo rapper. Like you want to,
Of
your
course.
music's much more than just juggalo music, and you shouldn't get trapped into that cycle. And he's like, if I were you, I'd stop wearing stop repping so much Hatchet Man stuff and start trying to rep your own stuff. And like that's what I do. Like I have my
Yeah.
own T-shirts, like Party in the RPT and stuff like that, and my T-shirts with my
Hell
mask on and
yes.
stuff. Um, it's like it just became a point at some point to rep myself, or yeah, right here on my sorry on the AK. That's my little label I started. Yeah,
Absolute
Absolute
king.
King.
Hmm.
Um, I started repping myself. Like I stopped trying to like I started repping myself, stopped trying to like make juggalos follow me because I was a juggalo and start trying to make juggalos follow me because I was a dope artist and that I had my
Yeah.
own lane, my own thing, my own stuff that I wanted to do. And I mean, I never got I was I will say I was never as popular as you at that point. So it just kind of went in the wind. No one ever knew I had that phase, but it was a thing where it's just like, yeah, you have to make your own lane. You can't I get it that it like you said, you could start off with like, oh, these people are giving me attention. These must be my people. So since they're my
Yeah.
people, I want to rep with them. But then you start realizing like it becomes such a niche crowd. And then you're like, well, I don't want to just be in this niche crowd. I want to expand. And that's when you realize like, hey, I have to do my own thing.
Right. And once again, like it's cool. It's cool to like represent your people and to have that niche. That's fine. But like you can only do so much when you're like in that same pool. Like you like remember like like when you swim in a swimming pool, you do it around the world. You just like keep swimming in a circle, and then after a while, the wave carries you, and you just float around.
Yeah,
That's how it is. Like, when do you want to jump into a fucking lake? Instead of staying in a fucking swimming pool. Like, it has to evolve. It can't always be for like your friends and family. Like, it's awesome when your friends and family do support, but I mean, I think
Yeah.
the goal is if you want to be a bigger artist, you have to push yourself to different markets too, and different types of
for
people.
sure. Um,
Bear me.
so to get into my second part of my rant, uh, what whenever I saw the Juggalo song thing, I was like, you know what? Like, pretty much what you said. Like, he can still rep them, but I didn't know how he was gonna rep them. Oh, dang, the 40.
She got that 40.
And when I heard the Juggalo song, it kind of made me mad. I'm not gonna lie because like I hate kind of to go back what you were saying, people just using the Juggalo name to gain a name. Like, and why? He doesn't need to. He's obviously a very talented artist who can do a lot of different styles, a lot of different things.
Oh
He
yeah.
can even sing. Like his music, his video production, everything that he does is on point. Why is he trying to? And okay, it's gonna make me sound bad because like Juggalos are probably gonna hate me for saying this, but why is he appealing
Do
to
it.
Juggalos? Like, why is he being that person right now where he's like, I have to do this for the Juggalos, and I don't know if it's like, I don't know because at the end of the video, it's not just this song. He's making a whole Juggalo album.
Oh,
It's a whole album that he's making for Juggalos. So,
interesting.
so I don't know what his game is, except maybe like you were saying, he just had a change of heart at some point, and he was just like, I
Mm.
wouldn't say change of heart, but he just was like, you know what, I'm gonna rep Juggalo stuff really hard because people have told me that I'm not, I guess, Juggalo enough. Maybe he's trying to prove he is a Juggalo, and that like by making a whole Juggalo album, it like proves a point somehow. Um, but I
We'll
just
find
think it's
Interesting.
out.
weak. I don't know, man. Like I don't know. Like don't come after me, Joker. I can't match your bars.
You're gonna hear a new
I
diss
just think you're
tomorrow.
weak. But no, like totally. Like I don't know. On his own, I think he does perfectly fine. I don't know why he's doing this, but I mean, I guess like y'all said, I guess we'll find out
Maybe he
why
has a
he's doing
strategy.
it. But I guess to answer the question, like, is it okay to backpedal? It depends, really. It depends on how you're doing it, and it also depends on what you said. And then, like,
Hmm.
you could have been a KKK member for so long, and then just all of a sudden, like, you know what? That's a bad thing. I'm not gonna do that anymore. And people are probably gonna give you shit, like, yeah, but you were a KK. Yes, I was, but I've decided like that's a bad lifestyle to live. So I'm trying to live a
Right.
better life, but people are still going to always just kind of point out your flaws like, well, you were,
From
and
both
just like,
parties.
yes, that's the
Exactly.
that's the key word is I was, I'm not anymore, so move past it. And
Hmm.
then there's just people that I think milk other people's fame to make themselves look better. And so if he's only doing it for that reason, then I think it's lame. But if he's doing it because he genuinely is like, you know what, like I feel like there's a decline in the Juggalo culture, and I want to bring it back. This is my way of bringing back the Juggalo culture more than it was. Because I mean, if we're gonna be real, there's a lot of people. Even I think Zito put right here. I don't know if you can see. I'm posting comments from people that like that are
Zitro.
commenting.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Zitro. He
Zitro.
he's like, I'm an old school Juggalo. There's a big difference. There's a lot of people like that who are
Definitely.
who say like I don't really follow the new stuff. I'm the old school juggler, which is similar to how I feel. I feel like I'm an old school juggler. I don't really follow a lot of the stuff. I'll listen to Ringmaster like, you know, once every 2 weeks because I love that CD. But I don't listen. I don't what is it? Furious Fred? I haven't heard that stuff. Like like I don't know. Like
And
I don't
then
know any
isn't
of
there
that fucking stuff.
like a 10 Juggalo commandments or something like that? Like there's so many things that these new Juggalos are coming out with.
Yeah,
Like I never even heard
and
of
a lot of
that.
and I think a lot of people it's kind of like it's dividing the culture in Juggalo where now you're having like new school Juggalos versus old school Juggalo type of stuff. And I think I don't know. I think people like I don't know if y'all know Razakel should know Shade out of this. I think he's out of the San Antonio
Oh
area, but
yeah.
he called
Hmm.
the Prince of Horrorcore or Prince of Juggalo. I don't remember. Sorry at the moment.
Prince of
Sorry, Shade.
Horrorcore.
Anyway, but like he's doing his thing, but to me, Shade's an old school has an old school Juggalo mentality, and that's what he's trying to bring
Yeah,
back
he
is that
he
old school
he
Juggalo
he was
mentality.
he was
Uh,
born from it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like he was born from it. I think that's a different that's a difference too. Also, another thing I wanted to mention about like all this Joker shit too, how we should also factor in like this great divide that's been happening between like psychopathic and M&E and shit like that. Because of
Mm-hmm.
that, there are artists and there's a lot of people who are kind of taking risks right now because they know that some of these fans are a little bit lost and they need to fill that void.
Mm-hmm.
So and
Yeah.
I'll be like I'll say it too. Like that's how I feel my team is right now. Like I feel like we're heading towards a really like we're heading down a really good path, and
Mm-hmm.
there is much more than just psychopathic and M&E. Like
Yeah.
there's
Mm-hmm.
so many people too that only pay attention to those two, and it's very
Yeah.
very unfair because the underground is very very talented and there's a lot more going on than just them two. And
Exactly.
I kind of look at it like that too. Like, well, they're fighting. Mom and dad are over here fighting. Mom and dad over here got divorced and shit. Well, we're the fucking stepchildren over here that are gonna rebuild this shit and start anew. Because you can only follow that
Yeah.
that blueprint for so long. That's just how it
Yeah.
is. So that's something interesting too that I didn't really think about. That maybe that could be like what the Joker's doing too. I'm not speaking for him or anything, but it's just we're coming up with different little ideas here. But that
Yeah,
could
the
be something too.
theories.
He sees that it's divided, and maybe he just feels like, hey, this might be a chance to like get back to my roots and actually like hit some people because some people did fall out of it. Some people did come back. Some people leave and come back, and who knows? Who knows? Either way, it's entertaining as fuck and it's keeping people talking. We're fucking talking about it.
Fuck
This is my interview, and
Yeah.
I'm talking about the fucking Joker.
Talking about the fucking Joker. Yeah, I mean, I think to be honest, I think he's just trying to I think maybe you're right. I mean, that's a really good theory. Maybe he's just trying to um mend a wound that people that it hasn't really been filled from that void of Twisted, breaking up with Psychopathic and doing their own thing and kind of almost stealing all the old school artists like Blaze and Boondocks and things like that, A and B, and now they're over there. So now there's just this divide and no one's really filled the void. And there's even up to the point where there's beef. If you follow Psychopathic, then like fuck M&E, and if you follow M&E, then fuck Psychopathic. And it really
Right.
shouldn't be that way. Like, because
Just
we're
enjoy the
all kind
music
of
for what it is.
Yeah, it's just
yeah, like
music. That's the thing. This
yeah,
isn't this isn't fucking gang wars, dude. It's just music.
yeah.
Like what you like, bump what you like, and just stay out of the bullshit. That's another
You
reason
know,
I try my hardest not to pay attention to so much shit is because it's so dumb to
bullshit.
get into politics sometimes. Like I just want to bump some good
Yeah.
shit.
But Justin, you make a really good point. I mean, for all the years that we I said we, for all the years that Juggalos are for all the years that Juggalos were like talking about trying to get off the FBI list because they were considered a gang by the FBI, to just have that type of mentality and then say, "Oh, we're not a gang, but it's fuck you. We're better." Like it's like a gang mentality type of thing when you're like, "We got to go fuck that guy up if he gets twisted now. We got to go do this and do that if they rep not us, or psychopathic if they don't rep the hatchet." Or and it's a weird, don't be those people, guys. Don't be that guy. Don't be those guys.
Go.
Um,
Go put
but yeah,
it.
I mean, I'm interested. I'm interested in knowing what ends up coming out of it in the end for the Joker. And I think everyone that's mad about it, they're just, I don't know. I don't know if their anger is validated. I don't think he ever really dissed juggalos to begin with. He just, to me, he dissed a certain type of juggalo that is a horrible lyricist who aren't original, and they just try to
Right.
piggyback off juggalo culture and music, and that's just, to me, that's lame. And we all know, we've seen those types of people. We've all been to concerts where like they let someone open up and you're like, man, like they're really trash. Like they're really trash.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have any more opinions about this. I just I think, like they said, if can you rep it later? Can you rep it now? I don't know. It depends, to be honest. But
That's up
I
to
think
you, the people watching.
Yep.
that's yeah, it's up to you. I think Joker is a brilliant artist for the most part. His ability to like, there's a song that he did that he's like, I can emulate Tech Nine. Watch. And the rest of that verse, he
Yeah.
sounds exactly like Tech Nine the entire time. And he's like, yeah. And we go a little bit of this with a little bit of triple time. And then I go, chuh, 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 like 3 times. I was like, shit. I was like, that's so fucked up, man. But I mean,
He killed it though.
he did it. Yeah, he did an amazing job. He did apologize later, which I also think is part of well, I think why people get mad too. He did a song called Dead Horse, which he apologizes to
Right.
Hobson for the beef, and then he apologized to Tech Nine and a couple of other artists that he dissed on that one diss album that he did. And he basically said, like, I was angry. I didn't know what else to do. And he basically didn't feel like he was getting the recognition he deserved. So he
Hmm.
made this whole diss album. And I think there's something to be said about that, because some people just feel like they're too big to, not big, but like their egos are too big to ever apologize for anything that they say or do. And even though they like even later say, "Oh, I know I was in the wrong, but I'm not gonna apologize. Like I'm a man. I don't apologize for the shit that I say or I do." And
I'm a
and
man.
so he does, and he did, and I don't know. I respect him for the most part. I don't think I don't know. Everyone's probably gonna hate me, but I respect the Joker.
Yeah.
Uh,
But enough of that.
um,
Let's get to Razakel.
Hi.
hi.
So you
Did
want
you
to
want to go
ask
first,
the
Rob?
first question? I'll go first.
Oh,
All right, Razakel. With the years that you've been doing this music, is there any musicians that you learned from over the years with doing music?
Yeah. That's one of. I do so many interviews. It's definitely one of not my favorite questions to answer because
Oh,
I just grew up on so much shit, so it's hard to pinpoint
mhm.
what it is, But yeah, I mean, like growing up, I'm a pastor's kid. I'm
really?
Latina, Hondureña. So I grew up on like a lot of Spanish music. Once I got older to kind of start liking what I like my parents listened to like a plethora of shit, Julio Iglesias, Vicente
Okay.
Fernandez, like shit like that. Like I grew up on all of that. But when I started like growing up into my own and finding what I liked, on my own, that's when it was like, like Selena,
Oh yeah.
like there's like Bronco, like Thalia, Shakira, like all of that. Like so I grew up on a lot of that, and then that spiraled into like I remember listening to like a lot of Bone Thugs and Harmony. I remember listening to a lot of like Snoop Dogg, and then that spiraled out, and then that's when I started listening to the fucking Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, and then that went on to fucking. Then I started listening to the Deftones and Slipknot and Mudvayne, and so it's
The
it's
good
not
stuff.
just
Yeah.
it's not just one thing. Like it's just pieces of everything that I've been influenced. So I mean, that's probably just like a tip of the iceberg of people that have influenced me, but it's pretty scattered and it's pretty all over the place. I can't say it's just one person or one artist or one band per se. I'm just, if I like it and it's catchy, then it just is what it is. I'm a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
So did you ever do a lot of like singing in Spanish as you were a kid?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, it was mostly like church songs. Because like I said, like my parents were they're Presbyterian pastors. They had their own churches and shit. So it was always like a lot of like choir, church songs, shit like that. And then like we'd go to
Live.
rodeos and shit, and of course I'd be singing whatever Tex-Mex and shit that was happening out there. I lived in Roswell, New Mexico for so long. And then yeah, then just mimicking the shit that I liked. And then I did my Spanish album last year. I think it's actually like a year anniversary, like today or tomorrow, that my Spanish album just dropped. So like that was the first time I ever,
Damn.
that was something like I had always wanted to do, was like crossover in a sense, like I said, I love Selena a lot. So I remember it was like always one of her dreams. Like she did Spanish like all her life mostly, besides like covering like some like oldies and 50s and shit like that. But like one of her goals was always to like cross over and do that English album that everyone was talking about. And unfortunately, like she
Yes.
wasn't able to finish the album. So like that kind of put into perspective for me, like fuck man, I don't know what's gonna happen to me. I'm not gonna be here forever. And it's always been a goal to like drop. I've always like said like little lines in Spanish, but I've always wanted to do something like more thorough and like
Just to
a
cross
whole,
over.
yeah, like totally different. And like even if it flopped, luckily it didn't. Even if it flopped, or like if my point didn't get across, or I didn't hit those like Latino fans, at least it was just like something for me. Like that was the project like for me that I wanted to do. So yeah, like that, that's the Spanish album. I can't believe that my little baby is already 1 years old now.
aw.
Live.
So it is the season of Halloween. It is the month of Halloween, and I'm sure that's a lot of our favorite time of the year. Um,
Yes.
so what's your favorite scary movie?
Oh
Or one
man.
of your favorite scary movies? I'm sure you have multiple, but what is one of the favorite scary movies that you have?
Um. Yeah. There. I mean, of course, there's like the Nightmare on Elm Street, fucking,
Mhm.
Scream. Like there. There's all like we could say all of that. I my A couple of my favorite movies. There's this movie called The Loved Ones. It's an Australian film, I believe, and that's probably like my favorite movie. Like still, like, I can't remember when it came out. It's new. It's like maybe within like the last like 15 years or 10 years or something like that. But yeah, that's my favorite movie. It's about this girl who's pretty much like a serial killer in training, pretty much. A guy asks her to prom, he says no, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but he just shouldn't have said no because he fucked himself.
Oh shit.
So like I like
Wow.
that. Like I like a lot of, like there's like I Spit on Your Grave, and movies like that where like it's always like the female, like something has to happen to her, like she has to go through some turmoil to like come back with that vengeance to like go against whoever did that to her. And as much as I
Mhm.
respect that, it's not for me. Like I don't feel like as a woman you should have to be a victim to fight. I like some bitches
Yeah.
are just fucked up. Some bitches are just fucked up, just as fucked up as guys are. There's female Ted Bundys out there. There's female Gacy's out there. They're just not in the limelight like any of that. But yeah, like that's one reason I really like that movie, is because it's about like a woman with, well, a girl with like power who just like she feeds off of the rage, but it's not because she's a victim. It's just because she's just a little fucked up, and I can
In
relate
the
to
head.
her. her name's Lola, actually. So that's why my name on
What?
face yeah her that's why my name on Facebook is Lola, because that's my girl.
And this whole time I thought that was your government name.
Dude,
Hold
everyone
on.
thinks it's my government name. Like I'll go to shows, or like like random people, like fans will see me
Like,
or
"What's
whatever.
up,
They're like, yeah,
Lola?"
they're like Lola, Lola, and I'm not paying attention. They think I'm being a dick. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's my name.
That's me. I'm Lola. You're right.
No, it's just
Hi.
Raz.
That's live. That's live.
Yeah, you
Now,
guys should definitely check it out though. That's been my favorite for a minute now is The Loved Ones.
the loved
The loved
ones, and
ones.
The
you said it
Loved
was from
Ones.
Australia.
I believe so. I believe so. It's an Aussie film.
Aussie,
Live.
Aussie.
Now, I have to ask you a question. When
Got
when you
you.
do when you do perform, and let's say a mistake happens or technical difficulties while you're performing, how do you handle that?
Always. Um, I mean, nothing can ever go perfect. If you expect any performance to go perfect, probably shouldn't. Excuse me, burps. You probably shouldn't be doing it.
And Mickey's, man.
Yeah, like actually, just recently, I had a show in Kaufman, Texas, the Madness and Mayhem show, and
Yeah.
me and the Spice Girls were the last act for the final night, and we blew the fucking speakers out like twice, and it took them a good minute. It took them a good minute to like restart everything, and just like that situation, that's when I had to like kind of mingle with the crowd, like start talking with the crowd, fucking, hey everyone, let's take a shot, like just and
Yeah.
that's where things get a little bit iffy because it's like I just know how to perform and do music. I'm not really a comedian or I'm not a public speaker. I'm actually
Yeah.
very, very shy and I'm very introverted. So like when the music's off and it's all eyes on me, I'm like, hi.
Shit.
Like that's when like the Razakel mode like kind of breaks down because I don't know what to do. But like I've been in the position so many times where like I just kind of roll with it. I just kind of talk with people, like let them know it's gonna be okay. And when the sound does come back on, we redo the song, we do it even better. We perform an extra song if need be. But I mean it happens, it happens more than usual. Like I never go in expecting it's gonna be a perfect performance. Like I have fallen on stage before.
What?
I've fallen on stage a couple times. I have
It
fucked
happened to me
myself
once.
up. I've forgotten my lyrics before. Like I remember
I've
the
done
Bump
that.
in the Night tour that we did last year. We our first show of the whole tour was in Portland, and I was performing my song "Homicidal Activity" with Kitty, and like I just completely fucking like I fucked up. Like I fucked up so bad that I was like a deer in headlights. I just stopped rapping. And Kitty, like, she feeds off my energy. She's like my main hype girl. She feeds off my energy. So she got stuck. And then we were just looking at each other, and I just like pushed her, like, stop, don't do that. And then like we finally got back on. And then at the end of the song, I said, well, at least I'm not performing on my song. At least, because when I stopped, it's just the beat. It's not
Yeah.
my backtrack. It's not my song. It's the beat. So at the end of the
Mhm.
song, I was like, well, at least I fucked up and you guys heard my real fuck up and I'm not performing on my fucking backtracks.
Yeah.
Like at least the people could
Karaoke.
tell. At least people could tell it's authentic. But like sometimes like there's been a couple times where like I've been on tour and like the sound will fuck up for people like openers and shit. And then they get really I could see people get really, really discouraged up there and they don't know how to handle the situation. And I could see them like sweating and turning red. And then after when their song's done, they tell everybody like, man, I'm so sorry, or they start talking shit to the sound man or whatever. And it's like, dude,
Yeah.
you
Weak
can't
sauce.
don't look
Yeah.
weak. Don't look weak. Or some people be like, oh, I fucked up that song. I'm so hungover. I was partying last night. Never do that. Never, ever, ever,
Mhm.
ever. I think it's so unprofessional. Like perception is everything. You have to fucking look professional as much as you can. And you have to accept that you're gonna make mistakes. It happens. It happens all the time. So yeah, just
Improvise.
lick your wounds and do better the next night. That's all you can really do. We all fuck up, man.
Hey, that's some real talk right there, for real.
So you
Cheers.
said you've been doing music since like 2006, right? Or at least been on the scene since 2006. What are like a couple, maybe like three tips you could give like independent artists to something that you learned along the way getting started?
um. Well, okay, like how we were talking earlier, like like respect where you come from, respect your roots, but don't feel so obligated to stay in that box. Uh,
Hmm.
that's one. Two, I guess, can be be yourself. be yourself as much as possible, because if you start popping and people really like respecting your craft and liking you, they like you because you're original and because you're yourself, not because you're, biting off somebody else. Um, and three, uh, don't give up and don't expect to be walking fucking red carpets and winning Grammys and Oscars. Like, you have to be very realistic with your goals and your dreams. Yes, of course the dream and the goals would be, yeah, I want a fucking mansion. I want to live off this shit. I want, like, of course I would love all that, but like, it's really good to dream big, but you also have to be very realistic, because if you set these goals that are way too fucking like out of this world, when you do lose, it hurts. It hurts even
Okay.
more. It hurts really, really hard. And like, you just have to be realistic. You have to be realistic. And I'm not saying get comfortable. Of course, don't get comfortable. We don't ever want to be comfortable. Just, we got to ride with it. And for some people, dude, like some people, it takes years and years and years to pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have been in this since
Yeah.
2006, and like, I barely feel like I'm getting like the recognition and like notoriety now. And it's
Yeah.
2020. And I've put in
Yeah.
the work. I've earned my stripes. I've done the shows. I've been the opener.
Fuck
I've been
yeah.
doing all of that. But like, it's like barely like now like things are really like starting to pave out. So patience is key. Patience is key, and just keep your goals realistic as fuck. Please, for your own well-being. Otherwise, you're going to feel like shit, and it sucks feeling like shit.
Yeah, it does.
That's pretty much all I got. Those are my three
No, those are
tidbits.
really good tips.
If you would have asked me this
Keep.
question like back then in like 2006, I'd be like, "Stop now. Fuck this shit. Don't do it. Throw everything away. Fuck this shit. Go. You don't want nothing to do with this." But
You
Okay.
don't want
I
this.
wasn't as humble as I was. Well, I'm humble more now than I was back then. So yeah, do your best. Damn it, you can do it.
Now I've been following you for a long, long while, Razakel, and also been following your boyfriend, and I noticed that he makes some very beautiful, if not gorgeous, dishes. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, the people that are watching, Jimmy, may I say his name?
Yes, of course, of course.
Jimmy. God damn, he be posting some shit.
I,
He got me cussing now because I mean it's good. It looks good. I mean he be talking about pineapple, jalapeno, beef, chicken skirt, bacon dip, cheese,
I know.
drizzled with some mango sauce. Like, what did you just say?
I know. He's an alchemist, dude. He's an alchemist of food.
So what's your favorite dish that he has made
Oh
or is
God.
making? Or
Oh God. Well, for starters, let me say, like, I used to cook a lot. Like, I still do cook, but like, Jimmy always cooks. Like, he'll barely let me sometimes. Like, he will barely let me. And then like, I'll ask him like, let me help you, whatever. And he's like, hell yeah. Or he'll tell me like, do this, do this, do this. I'll start doing it, and he's like, no, don't do it. And I'm like, then why do you even fucking invite me to do this? Like, why am I even helping? So I just like, I cook when he's not around, like when it's just me and Elmer, and like, we'll Frankenstein some shit, or like when I go out of town, like I go and see Ro like a few times a year, like we'll fucking get down in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like I do my best, but Jimmy's definitely like the cook here. But his favorite dish, it's always changing for me because this dude is always like coming up with new shit all the time. But right now, my favorite dish that he makes, it's called Tuscan chicken. I guess it's like a I guess it's an Italian dish, but it's like this really like creamy like chicken with like spinach, which I don't even like. There's a lot of food that I never liked before that I love now.
damn, I'm getting
There's like
hungry.
spinach. There's spinach in it. Like sun dried tomatoes. I used to hate tomatoes in general. Now I love tomatoes. Elmer loves tomatoes and guacamole and avocado. And now yeah, that's my favorite dish right now. But like, he's always changing it up. Like, he makes souvlaki. It's like a Greek dish too. Like, it's like chicken on a stick, and then lemon rice, and what is it, zaki sauce or whatever the fuck. Like, I don't even know what he's doing sometimes. And his ribs, like, he's actually very well known in the underground for like making ribs for everybody. Like, when acts would come into town and shit, like different musical acts would come into town, and he'd put the tour, like he'd book the tours and shit. Like, he would make everybody like their own bag of ribs. And like,
God
everybody always knew
damn.
Jimmy. Like, when he lived in Utah, everyone always knew him because like, he'd feed people, and Jimmy's ribs, Jimmy's ribs, Jimmy's ribs. So yeah, like, definitely fucking keeps us fed, and he's never like. There's no such thing as like a basic food here. Like as basic as it gets is like he doesn't feel like cooking, and he'll get like a frozen pizza, and he'll still Frankenstein that bitch up.
Got me over here licking my chops.
Yeah, so I'm very lucky on that end. Like he's a great man, and he's a great cook, and like both him and Elmer, they do a lot of shit behind the scenes that a lot of people don't really like notice or really see, and that's on purpose. They don't want to be in front. They're like the puppet masters in the back. They don't want to be in front of everything. They like to run shit from the back. So a lot of people don't
Yeah,
really give
behind
them
the
the
scenes.
recognition and their props, but a lot of what I'm doing, and a lot of like what the team's been up to, like it really wouldn't be possible without them, because they're the ones that put in the grunt work, do the driving, fucking, and besides all of that, they fucking have to deal with me. They have to deal with me, and I'm not a lot to deal with, but on the road it's definitely a whole different story, because that's when like the little diva of me kind of comes out a little bit, and
Did you
I
pack
get
this? Did you get
cranky,
this? Is
you
this in
know.
there?
Yeah, so I love them to death, but they do a great job, but definitely like the most they do is like they have to deal with my ass, and then not just my ass, then I brought two more bitches with me. Now I have fucking
The
Kitty and
Slice
Nancy. Now they
Girls.
have to deal with them. So it's like, love you guys. Sorry, but I love y'all.
Hi.
So I don't want to like call you out. It's more of a question I'm gonna ask. Can I assume that you like to engage in the smoking of marijuana?
No, no, I nope.
We don't condone to that here, sir.
Of course, yes, yes, yes. Of course,
Um,
yeah. I'm a
so
very
you
big
I
fan.
you've been I'm a fan of your music and your work. um so all the people that you've probably met over the years doing your music and grinding and probably meeting a lot of big artists, who's probably the most famous person that you've smoked with?
Huh.
Willie Nelson.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. I don't
Or even
really.
your favorite moment that you had with another artist that you smoked with and you were like, this guy is fucking chill. This guy's I'd never like maybe opened your eyes after a smoke session with an artist that you never really that you never really knew to begin with.
I mean, I've smoked with a lot of people. I've probably smoked with so many people that I'm forgetting who, who I like smoking with. But I guess like I went on tour with ABK for like almost a month a few years back, and me and him smoked a lot, a lot. Me and that man smoked a lot. We drank a lot. Like he'd come and kick it in my hotel room, and we'd be like fucking plastered. Like I'd be like falling asleep, holding my little like stuffy, and like my phone would ring, and it'd be Jimmy, and Jimmy would pick up the phone, and be like, "Dog, she's laying down with this fucking stuffy that looks like it's falling apart, and it hasn't seen a washer in years." So like ABK, like I have a really soft spot for him in my heart. He's very fun. I learned a lot from him. I know a lot of people don't really view him as like a big deal or very famous or anything, and neither do I. I don't like to really think like anyone's like super famous, because we're all human. I don't like to put anybody like
Mhm.
up on a pedestal like that. But ABK's
Yeah.
dope. I've smoked with King Gordy. That was fucking dope. That was super
The
fucking
great
dope, because
American
that was,
weed smoker.
yeah, and that was like way
Lars.
back in the day. That was way back in the day, like after like Entity came out, and like that was when Gordy was like, of course he's always crazy, but that was when Gordy was like super controversial and like really making his name known and shit.
That's one of my
Um,
favorite
of
albums is that Entity album.
Yeah, hell yeah. Of course, my homeboy Stitches that passed away. Of course, Gino Cult shit that passed away. I smoked with all of them. Damian Quinn is probably like my favorite person to smoke with. If I don't want to die, like that
The
man
dad
can.
ping.
Him and Tino will fucking kill me. Like I remember, like when dabs weren't a thing, and like he first started dabbing, and he started dabbing me out, and like that was like I was seeing stars and shit, like getting dizzy and woozy, like I had smoked weed for the first time. So like it's definitely it's been a lot of people, like recently too. Like Hoax, he's one of the new additions to the She family and shit. And like that kid can fucking smoke. That kid can smoke. Like he comes over here and he just pulls out like a plethora of bottles, and he's like, "Yeah, we're smoking all this shit tonight." And I'm like, we ain't got nowhere to go. We ain't got no jobs. Fuck it. So we'll sit here and smoke, and then like Ro's one of my best friends too. Like I'll go out to Kentucky. We'll fucking smoke. It's there's so many people, man. I definitely like breaking like bread, well, breaking weed like with everyone and smoking with everyone. I think it's like you definitely get like a different vibe with people when you get like to that level. Like it kind of mellows some people out and kind of like it's like
Opens them
bonding.
up
It's
a
like when
bit.
you drink with somebody, like
Yeah.
it's liquid courage. Salute. But yeah, so those
So,
are to name a few. To name a few.
so I'm gonna give you three choices. All right, and there's gonna
Okay.
be three decisions you got to make.
Fuck, Mary,
Chocolate.
kill.
Yep. Basically, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. You get to keep one for yourself. You get to serve one to everybody else, and then you got to remove one from existence.
Ooh. I'm gonna
This is how
keep
I'm gonna know.
strawberry.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep strawberry. Cause fuck yeah, strawberries. Um, I'm gonna have to get rid of chocolate, man. I'm gonna have to get rid of chocolate. It's a little too rich.
Aw.
It's a little too rich for me. And then I'll serve everyone vanilla because there's a lot of vanilla ass folks out there.
Man, that's fucked up. Because mine would have been I would keep vanilla for myself, give everyone else chocolate, and get rid of strawberry.
Damn.
Damn.
See? Okay. So that says a lot about our friendship right now.
Right? Like, oh damn. That was like
Me,
almost
it's all
complete opposite too. That was weird.
What about you, Rob?
Neapolitan.
You
I'm
want
just
them
gonna
all?
keep it
I'm gonna keep all of
Neapolitan,
them.
keeping everything equal.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You could take your pick. You could take your pick. See, all the strawberry on mine would be gone on the Neapolitan. Like it would just be that one whole area would just be gone. But I'm also like lactose intolerant now too. Like I've grown to be lactose intolerant, so I probably can't even eat as much ice cream anymore without fucking throwing up all over myself, shitting all
I
over the
feel
bed
you
or
on
something.
that. That shit runs right through me. I got to get that that
Can only
silk.
oh, I only get to eat ice cream on the toilet. Like that's the only way I get to enjoy
Oh my
it.
god! Eat ice cream while making your own ice cream. Word up.
Oh man.
Hairs everywhere. Good question though. Good question. It was like a fuck, marry, kill type of thing.
People are like, damn, she gonna do us like that with some vanilla?
Sorry,
Why
guys.
vanilla?
Keeps the
Hey, vanilla's
flavor, all
great. You
the
could always
flavors
add
up
things to it.
for sure. Um, so I think this is gonna be the last question because I feel like this has dragged on a little bit longer.
Nah.
Okay.
But so what are 3 tips you could give artists that are possibly looking at She and they possibly want to get on She and they're like, you know what, like she's doing some things and I would be part of that. What are like 3 tips you would give an artist trying to come out who wants to get on your label? It doesn't have to be 3. I just say 3 because it just
Right. Just
seems to be a good number.
it's a
But
good number.
but you know,
It's my
maybe a
favorite number
tip or a
actually.
couple of tips.
It's my favorite number.
Wow.
That's okay. Um, I mean, it would probably be the same advice I gave earlier.
Hmm.
Like definitely be yourself. That's something I really feel strongly about with my team right now. Is that no one sounds the same. Everyone's
Hmm.
very, very different. So, like, if I were looking to add anyone else, which I'm not, no offense to anyone, not trying to crush anyone's dreams or anything, but if I were to let anybody back in, it would have to be pretty fucking mind blowing, and it can't be like anything I've heard because, like I said, I have been in this shit since 2006, and I have heard it all. I have, you know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
there obviously are some people that are doing really great, like y'all, like Robzilla's dope, you're fucking dope. There's a
Thank you.
lot of dope artists, there's a lot of dope artists, and you guys are paving your own lanes, making your own teams and doing that. And that's good. I think that's good for like the genre to keep the genre going. But
Yeah.
as for like my team, and I would think you guys would think the same too, like when you're letting someone in too, you don't want them to be your clone or your copy. Like you want to
Real
build
talk.
a you want to build a good foundation of like of eclectic people that are dope all together, so that's how I look at she like, like, oh, like you want some fucking hardcore bars, then I got Diabolic for you. Oh, you want some like almost R&B, like beautiful soul singing, I got HB the Grizzly for you. You want some
Yeah,
fucking
she's
gangster
alive.
shit, I got Zitro for you. Like, I feel
The
that with
hard
every
jolts.
single person on my label, that like, well, that on my team, I don't like to call it a label. I feel like that with everyone on the team, that like we're all just so different. And if people want to get noticed on their own and join whatever teams, whether it's my team or anyone else, it's just to like be yourself and like stay in your lane and don't fucking copy anyone. Like, that's why I said, like, I really don't pay attention to a lot of what's going on, like with other labels and other artists and shit like that, because I don't like to be, it's very easy to get influenced, and it's very easy to like fall in that like wave. And I don't want to do that, you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's important. Just be yourself and don't be afraid to be different, because different is why people will like you.
Yeah.
Second, invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself, whether it's money, time, sacrificing. You have to be ready to sacrifice a lot, because the shit doesn't come easy. It doesn't come easy.
Hmm.
You probably spend more money before you make more money in this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it takes a long, like, by the time you pay for your album artwork, your mixing, your mastering, fucking graphics, like all of that, and then we get plays on Spotify and we're only getting paid a few pennies. Like,
Yeah.
you have to be ready to sacrifice and invest. And again, patience is fucking key. I'm not, like I said, I'm not really, my eyes aren't open on anyone right now. Like, right now, like, I mean, there's 10 of us right now, including like the side groups right now on the team. There's about 10 of us. So like, I don't really want to add anymore. I think like right now we have enough on our table. So right now it's basically just like establishing who we have now, and like making what we have now bigger, and collabing with other labels and other people, and coming up, just coming up as much as we can. And
Yeah.
it's unity is very important too. It's important, and sometimes it's not important, you know what I mean? Because like, of course, you want to stay in your own way, in your own lane, but at the same time, like, you need to support other people, because that's the only way you're going to get support too. And
Yeah.
something else I do want to say too is that you have to make fans. Like I said, you're not doing this to win other artists over. Don't be an
Yep.
artist for an artist. Be an artist to get fans. Like, I see it all the time, dude. Like, someone will drop a new album and then they'll start bitching like, "Oh, well, this artist didn't push me and I share their shit all the time." Like, don't feel owed. Don't feel owed anything. Like, no one owes you anything. Like, and what are you worrying about, like, if that artist doesn't share your music? I would rather 5 new fans share my music than an artist who at the end of the day doesn't he just they just care about themselves. It's cutthroat.
Yep.
Everyone's in this for themselves. You know what I'm saying? So like, make fans. Don't make don't look to impress other artists, if that makes sense.
No,
Well,
that's
that's
great
real tough.
advice. Like,
And that guy.
sorry, I was gonna say you had one more question, Rob. Like, I think if Razakel's with it, you could probably finish off your
Of
list.
course. Of course,
Yeah,
I'm here.
I'm over here texting him on the side, in his ear. I'm like, hey man, I need to ask us something. Um,
You guys are good.
when
You
when
guys
you
are good.
when you were talking about that, it made me think of this question, and I was like, you know what, I have to ask. With everything that you just told us on this interview, right now, this podcast with me and Mr. Fuentes on Ugly Truths and Royal Banter, if you could go back in time and give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be? My bad, I didn't mean to
Ooh.
put you on the spot like that.
Ooh. No, you didn't. Um, fuck. Oh
I'm
man, if
sorry, right?
I would say, man, don't deal with some of them people you dealt with for fucking almost a decade. Yeah, I think that's what I would say. I'd be like, you're gonna fuck up. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn a lot, but oh god, if there's any like if there's anything like I could like if there's any regret or like anything I could change, I definitely would have gotten myself out of situations that I shouldn't have been in for so long, you know. So yeah, that's yeah. That if I could like see myself, I'd probably definitely fucking backhand myself and be like, you're gonna be an idiot for like a decade of your life, but it's gonna be okay once it's over, because you know you can't stay a caterpillar forever. Gotta
Yeah.
fly.
Just going back to seeing that young Miss Lola.
Yes, which is my real government name, by the way.
If you ever try to search for me, that's the way you look for her.
Just look up Lola.
She's gonna disappear one day because no one knows her real name. And it's like I'll keep looking for Lola and I can't find her. I don't know what's going on.
I bet money people are looking right now. I can't find her
Right.
information, man.
It's just Lola.
So yeah, I mean, I think with that, I think that's pretty much the end. I don't know if anyone wants any closing words or anything. I really definitely appreciate you, Raz, just jumping on with us and just having some banter
Yes,
with us.
yes.
I
was
definitely,
fun.
whenever we met at Madness and Mayhem, you're definitely it was a good like chilling with you and chatting with you. And I'm thankful that you jumped on here with us today.
Yeah, I can. You know that when I met you, I had known about you for a minute, but when I had met you, like me and you did, like we talked for a good minute, you know, a good minute, and I could definitely tell that because it happens more than often with me. Like I think a lot of people, I'm not saying you, but like a lot of people in general, like they hear so many things about me, and they like see like the online persona, you know, and then there, of course there's so many good rumors and even more bad rumors about me. A lot of people like me, a lot of people dislike me, which is totally fine. And like it does happen to where like a lot of people, they like get the stigma of me, and then when they finally like just get those moments with me, you know, like those real moments, and we get to talk, a lot of people are like, damn, like she's actually okay. I don't really, I get it all the time. People are like, I didn't really think I like her, you know, like a
Yeah.
lot of people trust me. Like there's even like people on my team now that back then were like, I used to fucking hate you. I did not like you. The
Damn.
people I was with, they
You covered
didn't
up your
like
hatchet,
you.
man.
Yeah, I rode with them, you know. But once again, like opinions change, people change, times change. I've changed. I'm not the 2006 Razakel at all, you know. Like I don't really like that person, you know. So it's all changed. So it's definitely, it's very humbling when I do get to meet like new people, and like I can share that side of them. And then like it's even more humbling because I like to see people like give me that chance, you know, and kind of like them be open with me to like get to know me, and you know, kind of erase like what they've heard or what they've seen or whatever. So I felt like what me and you had was like a really genuine conversation. And same thing with Rob, man. Every time I see Robzilla, like it's always like a homie. We're always homies. We
Always
talk, like
smiles.
Rob, like you're one of the most like humblest dudes I've ever fucking known.
Oh,
You
thank
know,
you.
like you're very
True.
very humble, and you, like you're both great artists. So it's dope to like, we should all be staying connected. You know, like I think it's
Mhm.
Yeah,
important
yeah.
to like keep good people on your side, because that's the only way anything's gonna really progress.
And may I also add, like you were saying earlier, you know, how you were saying about the Joker before, you know, people that didn't know him back then, that know him now, don't see him as him dissing, you know, Juggalo rappers has with you. You know, they didn't know the 2006, you know,
Yeah,
Razakel. They just know you for who you are right now.
right,
So,
right. It
so that's
happens.
what's live.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
like I
thank yeah.
definitely appreciate all y'all. And
Thank you
so
guys.
yeah, this was fun. Thank you everyone that joined in. I try as much to if y'all see me like look off, I'm controlling like everything on this like web page thing over here,
Oh,
so I'm
you're
trying to like,
good. You're good. You're good.
throw in
Handle your
these
business.
statuses and stuff like that. And
Handle your business, homie.
but I try to get people comments and stuff on here. But thank y'all for commenting. Thank y'all for all jumping on. Thank you, Razakel, for just for jumping on with me and Rob. And
Of
of course,
course.
thank
Thank
you,
you
my
guys.
co-host Rob, always being with me. I
Yep.
really appreciate all this. And with that, unless anyone has any closing words, well, where can they find your music and stuff like that? Raz, and like what maybe some maybe some songs that you feel are good introduction songs for people to jump on and listen to get to know like your type of music.
Um, I'd say like for the newer stuff, like I recently dropped our team dropped an album at the beginning of the year called the Plexus Collective, and I have a solo song on there called "Don't Pray for Me." So that's definitely one that a lot of people could find. That it's definitely like a good introduction. Um, as I mean, that's like the newest, like most introductory one that I can really say right now. But I mean, my catalog is so fucking huge, where I just kind of like
Hmm.
people to kind of just it's there. Like go find
Yeah.
whatever you like, whether it's the old Raz, whether it's now, whatever.
Just play a
Also,
Speak
random
some
song to
Spanish.
start.
exactly. And then I have a side project with Ro called the Serpentines. That's
Yes.
definitely that's one of like my most important projects. I hold it very close and personal. Like I felt like a lot of like the older Raz was coming out on that one, and then of course the production and my partner in crime, and that was fucking amazing. Um, and yeah, like besides myself, like anyone on my team, Ro just dropped an album, Seven Circle Serpents, that came out yesterday. Yesterday?
23rd, yeah.
Yeah, the 23rd yesterday.
Shout
Before
out
him,
Ritual of Ether.
yes, Ritual of Ether, and then before that, it was Diabolic, Hard Jaws, Don Orias. Like we've had about like almost 20 consecutive releases in 2 years, I believe.
Yeah.
So we're killing it right now, man. We really like to keep it busy. So Hard Jaws, Don Orias, HB the Grizzly, Diabolic the Monster, Ritual of Ether, Zitro, Slice Girls, of course, and now Hoax, our new little baby. Now Hoax, and then of course Sit Gang, which is Don Orias and Diabolic, and then Serpentines, which is me and Ro. Yeah, like shout out to all of them. Like this is all a very big team effort, and then of course to like like we have like a new like publisher, guy that he's handling all our media and stuff, Max Terry. He's taking care of us on like the fancy wording and stuff like that. And then of course Elmer and Jimmy, who run shit. And then I have my muscle guy, who's Jimmy, or Jamie, my bad. It's Jimmy's best one of Jimmy's best friends, Jamie. So like yeah, like it's a cohesive unit. Like we all have like different roles and everything, but I feel very solid with everybody by my side, and I know that they feel solid with me. So I'm very humbled to just be surrounded by a fucking awesome group of people, and yeah, and thank you guys, and of course thank you guys for having me. Fucking Texas representing in this motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah. Man,
Um,
Razakel.
so
So
so with
y'all
that,
make
I
sure
think
y'all.
yeah. Go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
I was gonna say y'all make sure y'all follow Razakel, man. Follow Team She, Shrunken Head Entertainment. Get your head shrunk. My name is Robzilla. This is.
Mr.
Yeah,
Fuentes. And don't go just yet. I am going to end the broadcast, but I'll see y'all later, guys, and y'all have a great day. And thank you all for joining us.
for sure.
Peace.
Bye guys. Bye.